You know how you grab a bunch of beets at the store and feel kind of proud of yourself, like, okay, I'm really doing this healthy eating thing. A lot of people in America are doing exactly that right now. Beets are everywhere. Salads, juices, roasted veggie bowls, even fancy restaurant menus. And honestly, they deserve the hype. They're loaded with fiber, antioxidants, natural nitrates that help support blood pressure and circulation, plus vitamins and minerals your body absolutely loves. But here's the twist most people never think about. You can eat a superfood in all the wrong ways and barely get the benefits. In some cases, you can even put yourself at risk without realizing it. So if you've ever thought, beets are good for you, why don't I feel any different? Or, why does my beet dish taste meh? You're not alone. A lot of the problems come down to little habits in the kitchen. How fresh the beets are, whether you peel them, how you cook them, what you throw away, even who in your family is eating them. These small choices can add up and quietly change how your body responds. Let's start with one of the most common mistakes: peeling off the skin before cooking or eating. Look, nobody wants to eat dirt, that's obvious. But when you scrub the beet really well and then cut off the peel, you're often tossing away a big chunk of fiber and some of those powerful pigments that act like antioxidants in your body. The good stuff is concentrated close to the skin. You don't have to chew on a tough, dirty beet. Just scrub them under running water with a brush, trim the ends, and cook them with the skin on. Once they're roasted or boiled, the peel softens, and if you really don't like it, you can rub it off afterward when it's already done its job during cooking. Then, there's the flavor issue. So many people try beets once, find them too earthy or too boring, and never come back. Most of the time, the problem isn't the beet, it's the seasoning. Think about it. You'd never boil potatoes in plain water and eat them with nothing on top and expect them to taste amazing. Beets are the same. A little salt in the cooking water, a drizzle of olive oil afterward, some black pepper, lemon juice, maybe a splash of balsamic vinegar. Suddenly they wake up. Herbs like rosemary, thyme, or dill make them feel like something off a restaurant menu instead of a sad side dish. And if you're blending them into a smoothie, adding ginger, orange, or berries can totally transform the taste and still keep everything healthy. Another quiet mistake is using old, wrinkled beets you've forgotten in the back of the fridge. You know the ones, soft, dull, maybe a little shriveled. Fresh beets should be firm and smooth with a rich color. As they age, they lose water, flavor, and some vitamins, especially the more delicate ones. The texture can turn woody or kind of lifeless. So when you're shopping, go for small to medium beets that feel solid in your hand. If the greens are still attached and look fresh, that's an even better sign you're getting something recently harvested. Speaking of greens, this is where a lot of people accidentally throw away a nutritional goldmine. Those leafy tops you chop off and toss? They're edible, and they're insanely nutritious. Beet greens are loaded with vitamin K, vitamin A, vitamin C, iron, magnesium, and fiber. They're kind of like a cousin of Swiss chard. You can saute them with garlic and olive oil, add them to soups, toss them into a stir-fry, or chop the tender ones into a salad. If you've ever bought beets, cut off the leaves, and thrown them straight into the trash, you basically paid for a multivitamin and then dumped half of it. Storage is another behind-the-scenes issue that can make or break the benefits. If you bring beets home and leave the greens attached, the leaves will keep pulling moisture out of the root. That's why the bulb shrivels faster. The better move is to cut off the greens, leave about an inch of stem, store the greens separately in the fridge, and keep the beets unwashed in a bag or container in the crisper drawer. Stored properly, they can stay firm and fresh for weeks. Cooked beets, on the other hand, should go into a sealed container and be eaten within a few days. And if you bought a huge bag and know you won't finish them in time, you can cook, cool, peel, chop, and freeze them. That way you've got quick, ready-to-use beets for salads, smoothies, or side dishes without starting from scratch every time. Now, let's talk about the way you cook them. A lot of homes in the US have one default method: boiling. Just boiling. It's easy, it's familiar, and it works, but it's not always the most flavorful or nutrient-friendly option. When you boil beets, some of the water-soluble vitamins can leach into the cooking water, especially if they're peeled first. You can still absolutely boil them, especially if you plan to reuse the cooking liquid in a soup, but don't stop there. Roasting brings out a deep sweetness and gives them this caramelized edge that tastes amazing. Grilling them as slices adds a smoky note that pairs so well with goat cheese, feta, or hummus. And raw beets, finely grated into a salad or slaw, offer crunch and maximum nutrition with zero cooking time. If you do boil beets, there's one tiny step that changes everything: adding salt to the water. A lot of people skip it, either out of habit or because they're worried about sodium. But a small amount of salt in the cooking water helps the seasoning penetrate and brings their natural sweetness forward. You're not dumping a salt shaker in there. Even half a teaspoon in a pot can make the final beet taste more balanced and satisfying. If you're watching your sodium, you can still keep it modest and season the rest of your meal accordingly. Now there's a big one that almost nobody talks about: what you do with canned beets. Canned beets can be a total time saver. They're already cooked, they last a long time, and nutritionally, they're still a solid option. But people make two big mistakes. The first is avoiding them completely because canned food is bad. That's not automatically true. The second is using them without paying attention to the label. Many canned beets come packed in salty brine or with added sugar. If you just open the can and eat them as is, you might be taking in more sodium than you planned. A really simple fix is to rinse them under cold water before using them. That washes off a lot of the extra salt. There's also that dark red liquid in the can that most people pour straight down the drain. In many cases, that liquid contains some of the pigments and minerals that release during the canning process. You don't have to use it every time, and you definitely want to be careful if there's a lot of added salt or sugar, but you can repurpose it in small amounts. A splash in a soup or stew, mixed into a dressing, or blended into a smoothie for extra color can work well. If it's a high-sodium product, it's also totally fine to skip it and just focus on the beets themselves. One more trick for canned beets. If you've ever noticed a metallic taste, you're not imagining it. That can come from the canning process and the way the beets sit in contact with the metal over time. A super simple way to fix this is to blanch them briefly. Drop the canned beets into hot water for a minute or two, then drain. That little step helps reduce the tinny taste and makes them taste more like fresh cooked beets. There is one canned beet mistake that really can be dangerous though, and this one is serious: eating them long past their expiration date or from a damaged can. Canned foods do last a long time, but not forever. If the can is bulging, badly dented, rusty, leaking, or smells off when you open it, that's a hard no. Don't taste just a little to check. Some types of foodborne illness, like botulism, are rare but very serious. No side dish is worth that risk. If it can look suspicious or is way past date, you're better off throwing it out and opening a fresh one. Now let's talk about who needs to be a little extra careful with beets in general. For most healthy adults, beets are a great addition to meals. But if you've had kidney stones in the past, especially certain types that are triggered by oxalates, large amounts of beetroot might not be the best idea without talking to your doctor. Beets naturally contain oxalates, which can contribute to stone formation in people who are prone to that. Also, if your blood pressure runs very low, or you're on medications that lower it, Remember that the nitrates in beets can help drop blood pressure a bit more. For many people, that's a good thing. But if you already feel dizzy or lightheaded sometimes, you don't want to overdo it. And for anyone managing diabetes or prediabetes, beets are still on the table, but portion size matters. They have natural sugars, especially when cooked or juiced, so pairing them with protein or healthy fats can help keep your blood sugar more stable. Here's a fun one most people never explore: using beets in desserts. It sounds strange at first, but wait until you taste a chocolate beet brownie or beet-based chocolate cake. Pureed cooked beets add moisture, natural sweetness, and a beautiful deep color that lets you cut back a bit on oil and sugar while sneaking in extra fiber and nutrients. Most people have no idea they're eating a vegetable. It's one of the easiest ways to get picky eaters, or kids who hate anything healthy, to enjoy beets without a fight. So when you put it all together, the big message is pretty simple. Beets themselves are not the problem. In fact, they're one of the most underrated, budget-friendly, nutrient-dense foods you can keep in your kitchen. The real issue is how we choose them, store them, cook them, and who's eating them without thinking about their own health situation. A few small tweaks: keeping the peel on when you can, saving the greens, seasoning properly, storing them right, not fearing canned beets, but using them smartly, and being cautious with old or damaged cans can completely change your experience. If this changed how you think about beets, hit that subscribe button and stick around. I break down health topics like this every week in a way that actually makes sense. No scare tactics, no magic cures, just real, practical tips you can use in your everyday life. And if you've got a favorite beet recipe or a question about something we talked about, drop it in the comments. I read them, and they help me decide what to cover next.